episode of the Backstory on Marketing and AI. And of course, if you haven't already done so, please sign up for more of these episodes at prorelevant.com. There is some incredibly good information out there and great discussions with many other folks. And each one of them is really providing some critical insights for all of us to learn how to take advantage of AI in marketing. As you know, I am the author of the upcoming book, The AI Marketing Machine, and you can find out more information on that at marketingmachine.prorelevant.com. So today I'm interviewing Matt Stafford of Build, Grow, Scale, and he is the managing partner of Build, Grow, Scale and has spent 30 or more years building businesses across various industries. He is an expert in e-commerce and has mentored thousands of store owners, helped brands scale past $10 million, and spoken on stages worldwide. And those stages include BGS Live, and which is North America's largest e-commerce event, and many, many others. Matt, it is so good to have you. And e-commerce is clearly critical for the success of marketing. Welcome. So good to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is your backstory on AI and marketing? How did you get involved in this fun topic?
Well, I don't think that if you're in business today, you can avoid getting involved in it. I think that especially for us, we deal with data analytics and information. And for us, if we weren't in AI, I think it would quickly replace who we are because what it's capable of, it can think way better than a human. Uh, Part of our claim to fame has always been being able to look at the data and analytics and be able to make very good suggestions in order to correct the UX, UI, and help your website function and convert much higher. Well, now by using these AI tools, which are essentially the world's smartest assistant, and learning how to use it correctly, the insights that we get are far deeper and much more valuable to our clients.
Yeah, that is so true. And it's not only about the prompting, but making sure that it has the context as quite often as part of the prompting, but also the data that you want it to use and stuff like that. Now, you work with Build, Grow, Scale. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's our agency where we partner with brands doing about 250,000 a month, all the way up to 4 or 5 million a month, and then we optimize their processes, uh, run their split tests, do all their development, and help them build, grow, and scale their business.
Yeah, fantastic. So, how has AI been a part of that scaling and growing for your clients?
Uh, it's continuing to iterate. If you asked me that 6 months ago, it'd be a totally different answer than right now. I think for us personally, learning how to use it in a way that it's not just giving you a generic result. And so, just to give you an example, for one of our brands, we took all of their reviews, we took all of their post-purchase surveys, and then we took all of their Google Analytics 4 data along with their Shopify reports, and we've linked all that together with the recency, frequency, and size of each client, and then created automated email flows that talk to each one of those segments. There's about 6 different segments it created, and then used language based off of those particular people's buying behavior, how they had filled out reviews, etc. And we're finding that it's working very, very well.
Oh, that is interesting. I really like that. So, you segmented, taking the reviews and other data that you had is then taking that and using that to make segments, but then also turn that around into the actual kind of text and written language that you're going to use.
Yeah, the messaging itself. And then we split test it with what they had, and the new results, AI is beating it.
Wow, that is just fantastic. So, one thing I mean, consumer behavior and how they make purchase decisions has been, changing way before AI, and and it was hard for all of us to keep up. And now it's even changing further. And And I think about what I'm doing when I go in to make a purchase decision. I type in, "Hey, I'm looking for a blah blah blah," and then Google, overview gives me, "Well, here's what you need to buy when you're going to buy a blah blah blah," and it gives you a lot of that pre-information that has been significantly changing how consumers make purchase decisions, how they search for different solutions. So, how are you staying ahead of the curve, and how are you seeing that change, I guess, number one, and then how are you staying ahead of the curve?
Yeah, so I'm part of a mastermind that is focused on AEO, which is the artificial engine optimization, because the when that gives a suggestion, the conversions are much, much higher. And we also believe that a lot of the companies that have legacy SEO, we can, as small companies, can get in front of what they've done because the artificial engine optimization is brand new. So they don't have 30 years head start, and we're already seeing results for some of the things that we're doing. Uh, People are telling us that they found us in the AEO version of SEO when they search for stuff. So we know that it works, and the conversion on it is much, much higher than the way that Google used to do it, where they give you 10, 20 options and you got to click through all of them and wonder if they actually even gave you something that was relevant to what you were asking. The artificial intelligence does way better.
Yeah, interesting, and I could see that as well because it's going to point you to what you're looking for, and plus you can iterate a couple of times to really nail it down. So I guess, and this is maybe a little bit off topic, but Google is not getting paid for those searches, whereas before, you would click on a sponsored link or something like that, and they get their cents and dollars out of that, and now
Yeah,
they're not.
I've heard that they're down as much as 30% on their search traffic. That
Mm,
the AI, the large language models are taking about 30, have already taken about 30% of their search traffic.
wow. And is that their own Google, their AI overview, or is that also Chat GPT and then
Chat
Gemini?
GPT and Claude and Grok and all the other
Yeah.
ones that are being used, people are typing their queries there instead of Google now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, me too. Although sometimes I'll type it into Google and then I'll move it over to Chat GPT, which is the one that I kind of favor, that I like, mostly. So what do you see as, kind of the AI LLM that you kind of really like the best? Is it Chat GPT, or do you have another favorite in there?
I use two different ones. I use Chat GPT for a lot of stuff, and then I use Claude for writing. I think Claude is a much better writer, much easier to nail down my voice and have it edit my rough notes into something that's more usable. And
Hmm.
then ChatGPT obviously is kind of leading the way. I use Grok for financial things. I think it does really well with the financial stuff.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's fantastic. Well, let's get back. So, one of the challenges that all of us marketers have is we got to think about making decisions that are really data driven. And you see that quite often. I was just at an event last night, and everybody's talking about data, 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 and using AI to support how you use the AI and analytics to take your data and then make better decisions and then scale them. How do you see that working?
I think that's the only way to do it in the future. If you're not learning how to do that now, the people who are gonna lead the way very quickly. I really genuinely believe that anybody that's the owner of a business should be practicing at least an hour a day, and just getting in there and making queries, learning how to find stuff, learning how to add documents and have it, give you the relevant information or the KPIs that you need in order to make good decisions. Because it literally is the world's smartest assistant. And if you don't use it, the people that are using it are gonna just run circles around you.
Yeah, interesting, and that makes a lot of sense. And I definitely, I mean, our business is based on data and data, 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 and
Same for
and
us.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and you can't you just can't get and feel comfortable unless you have the right data to be able to back up, your thinking and make sure that you have a robust solution that comes out of that.
Yeah, and
Um,
I've read some things where they said that the people that are basically power users, it's actually making them um, lazier or less smart because they're relying on the large language model too much to give them the answer instead of knowing how to search for it. And so I have a prompt that literally interviews me, and I try to do that every day. And it doesn't give me answers. It continues to teach me how to teach or how to think more strategically and look at the data in ways that I probably hadn't thought of rather than given an answer. And so I think that there is a area where you might start relying on it too much, and if you cut and paste your response without looking through it, you're gonna get yourself in trouble. So I definitely think there's a lot of learning to be done, and the people that are willing to put in the work are gonna net the results.
no, that is very interesting. I hadn't thought about that. It's funny because no question that the more you use the AI, the LLMs, the more you kind of get dependent upon them. And then you can kind of feel it like, it's just so easy to get an answer out of them. And
Yeah,
and the answers, they feel so good because they are so well written, and yet they may be total hallucinations, but nevertheless they feel good, because they're so well written, and it's easy just to not do that. But I like your point about being interviewed. As a matter of fact, on this event last night, there was a woman. She set it up. She's looking for a job, and every day she would practice her interview skills by having ChatGPT ask her interview questions,
yeah,
and then sit there and just go through them, and hone her interviewing skills. And so that I like what you're talking about in terms of practicing your use of it in some fashion. That's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah. So now one of the challenges that e-commerce brands have quite often, especially in the size that the smaller and mid-sized companies are, is that they really don't have a brand. They may have they're starting to grow a brand as they get to a certain size, but quite often they're really just lower funnel. And so, what do you see for an e-commerce brand, how they can grow their brand and not just grow sales, but grow their brand? And what do you see what's working now and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would say I agree with you, and very few people feel that way because everybody that comes to us says, "Oh, my brand," and I always push back and say you don't have a brand unless you can turn off ads and you're still making enough sales to stay in business. Otherwise,
Hmm.
you have a funnel that you can run ads to and you can make sales. The way that you build a brand is that you make enough sales over a long enough period of time that people know, like, and trust you and will come buy from you, not because they saw an ad. And so, in order to get to that point, nowadays you're competing with people that are using tools that make them 5 or 6 times or 10 times more productive than they normally are. So I'm seeing very small teams build very successful brands because they're using these tools in a way that doesn't replace people, but it makes the people that they have way more productive.
Yeah, very interesting. I like your test, so to speak, that if you turned off your advertising and you still were able to get sales, then yes, you do have a brand versus no, you don't if you're not getting anything.
Right.
That is really interesting. So how do you see AI changing the e-commerce optimization? It's got to be doing a lot of good things for you.
Yeah, one example of just with customer service. There's some really good companies centered around customer service that have added AI into their apps that have made a huge difference. We see ones that have bots that are converting, 60, 70% of the people that interact with them, which is amazing. They're able to make suggestions based off of the people's browsing history, things they clicked on, answer questions, and many times do it much better than a customer service agent because the bot never has a bad day or they didn't have a long night the night before. They don't get out of, they don't have a bad mood. They're not short with people. There's just a lot of reasons why they're very effective. And I've watched people that had large customer service teams with poor ratings go down to a smaller team using these different tools and drastically, like 2 and 3x their customer reporting as far as like how happy they were with it, with a third of the staff.
Mm. Yeah, it is amazing, and I think the intelligence sometimes that you get on these bots is just it's just phenomenal, and it really makes a big difference. At least to get the those simple questions out of the way, and then
Yeah, a
potentially
year
filter for
ago it
the
wasn't even good at that. Now it's great because you can upload documents and a whole bunch of other things from it, and it can query those and then give answers based off of your company's ethos and what your terms are. And it's very, very accurate, very good, and
Mm.
it acts as good as a human on its best day.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and I think you're right. I've seen that quite a bit with my interactions with those. So you have a good case study that you can talk about where AI has really helped in the driving and the optimization of one of your clients' e-commerce sales and marketing.
I can share like how they used it, the email that we were talking about. I won't share the brand, but
Yeah.
yeah, so our results for that brand, they are about $8 million a year, and email drives between 30 and 40% of their revenue month over month. And that comes from them sending daily emails that aren't just here's a discount, but they're actually providing value and leading people into a sale by the end of the week. And they do that every single week for the entire year, and we've literally watched it just grow and grow and grow. Their open rates are higher than ever. Their conversions are higher than ever. Their average order value. So the people really, really are resonating with it. And for an owner to do that and spend that much time the old way was really, really difficult. We all knew that we needed to do it, but not everybody could carve out the time to get it done. And now with these tools, like I said earlier in the conversation, you can 4 or 5x your productivity, even if you're fairly new at them. I believe that that's going to continue to get better and better. As right now, we're seeing these agents and tasks and things. So you can set a task, and it can go, scour a couple of forums about what's the latest topic in your particular niche and gives you something to talk about that day very quickly.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And one of the challenges with especially with email, and it's certainly very effective for most businesses, but is to grow sales without necessarily having to give a discount. It's just giving away money just to get that sale through that email is very expensive. People think, well, email's cheap, it doesn't cost me anything. But if you're using a discount as opposed to providing real value, that is definitely the way to do it. So I like your example.
Yeah, 100%. I don't believe that all money is equal. Uh, there's areas of the business that you focus on to drive the revenue because it's a lot more profitable. And in those areas where you can actually build a relationship with your customers, which is email, it's not always built off of a discount. It's built off of a relationship.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, I'd love to keep going. I love the experience you've got, and I love some of the topics that you've talked about. But I do have one last question, and that is, what advice would you give a new and up and coming marketer coming into this incredibly dynamic AI-driven kind of marketing career? Marketing environment, and when they're actually, it seems like competing against AI for a position.
I would say, yeah, depending on your time schedule, that I would put a minimum of an hour to 90 minutes a day in practicing using it and becoming proficient, because I don't think that AI will replace people who know how to use the tools efficiently. I think AI is going to replace the people that are late adopters and are behind the curve, because the people that are proficient with it will be able to provide a lot more value to the owners when they go into that scenario.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and that seems to be the guiding light out there, certainly. And you know, and if you're just getting out of college, I can only hope that that college has properly given you a good exposure to AI, so that you can really leapfrog others that may not have that, and then be really a good, you know, a good value to the to your employer, yeah,
Yeah,
from day
yeah. You
one.
wonder how long how fast they'll be able to update their curriculum, from their legacy professors that need to adapt. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not sure
yeah.
college is the right way to go now.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Although one of my so I teach every once in a while over at Emory University, and I'm a guest lecturer, so you know, I don't have to grade papers or anything. But so the my sponsoring professor, he said to his class, he said, "I want you to absolutely make sure that you use AI to write all your papers." Now, of course, the content has to be yours, but I want AI to write them because I will not accept a paper that has bad grammar, bad spelling, bad thought logic, and everything. And so he's actually going the other way and forcing them to use it
Yeah,
because you know, it is such a value, and it is what you're going to do every day when you get
yeah,
out into the job
yeah,
market.
yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Matt, thank you so much today. This has, you know, been fantastic. And, you know, e-commerce and AI optimization of e-commerce is such a big deal. Where can folks reach out to you and learn more about you and your company?
Yeah, our website is buildgrowscale.com, and my email is matt@buildgrowscale.com. If you send me an email, I'll answer all of them, and happy to jump on and see if we can provide some value.
Yeah, fantastic. So buildgrowscale.com, buildgrowscale.com. Matt, thank you so much. And for the audience, definitely stay tuned. We've got tons more videos coming up. Actually, I can't keep up with all the folks that want to be interviewed. But in any case, stay tuned and go to prorelevant.com and sign up for more of these episodes. And if you'd like more information on my book, go to marketingmachine.prorelevant.com. And if you want to, please rate this interview with 5 stars. Matt, thanks so much. It's great to have you today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.